Hello, this is Forest of Oak, Lesson 2, Energy and Protection. Working with energy. To really feel magic, to make spells work, and to get the right result from a ritual, you need energy. Every living thing has its own energy, whether it is a flower, a crystal, a person, or a pebble. All the ingredients you might gather together for a spell will have their own individual energies and characteristics. If you use a wand, that has its own energy too, but the real magic comes from you. Working with energy is really a combination. You can draw energy up from the earth or from an item such as a crystal, and you can channel it through yourself. But you will also add a little bit of your inner self as you do so. When you are in ritual, you might also call upon the god and goddess to lend their energy in your workings too. You can raise energy from other sources as well. The elements can provide us with energy too. Earth, air, fire, and water all provide sources of energy that we can tap into. But generally, you are the conduit. You summon the energy, you gather it, you add to it, and you direct it. It is really important that you don't take the energy from your own reserves. You will make yourself incredibly tired. You are the conduit for energy from outside your body, not drawing upon energy from within you. Everyone has the power to access energy from Mother Earth, to tap into it and use it. The energy created by our bodies and by the spirit within our bodies is generally referred to as the aura. The energy that flows around and through our bodies is usually referred to as Qi. I would like you to try something now. Yep, right now. Rub both your hands together, palms together, quickly for a few seconds. Then very, very slowly pull them apart. Can you feel anything? You should feel a slight pull or a tingling sensation. What you can feel in between your hands is energy. That's the stuff that we want to work with. Another exercise to try is to hold your hands a couple of feet apart, palms inwards, and slowly bring your hands together. You will hopefully, as your hands get closer, start to feel a pressure, a resistance. Again, this is energy. Don't worry if you don't feel it at first. Sometimes it does take some practice. Part of being a witch is to be connected to the earth, her plants and her creatures, to be aware of the energies around us so that we can connect and interact with them. Energy and ancestors. Each natural item you find or collect out in the wilds will have its own unique energy, and that energy can be utilized for spell working or meditation. Each pebble will have an energy, probably very earthy, but if you find it by the ocean or river, then it will also have a watery element to it as well. Each tree, plant, flower, seed, and twig will also carry its own special energy and will probably have a very definitive character and personality. Tap into and connect with their energy. Find out what the item is happy to offer you. Each one will have particular energies, whether it is wisdom, knowledge, healing, protection. The list is endless. No two twigs, no two pebbles, no two seed heads will be the same. It is a case of making that connection with the spirit of the item to find out. And you get used to people staring at you while you have a conversation with a twig. Every space, whether it is your back garden, your living room, the city park, or the middle of a field, all has its own unique energy and history. I live on the edge of a large city in a terraced house. My house was built in 1920, but below that there was another house on the land, and before that, and before that. In fact, has also lived near the sea. The city, being a port, it has attracted dwellings probably since man needed a roof over his head and somewhere nearby to catch food, i.e., the sea. The first recorded dwellings date back to the late ninth century, and we've apparently had Romans, Normans, Saxons, and all and sundry living here. So the land itself holds a huge amount of memories and echoes from our ancestors, all the tales it could tell. For me, it is important to reconnect with and get to know that energy and history, even the ancestors of any space that you visit, especially if you want to work magic there or to collect natural items. Obviously, somewhere like a big city centre is going to be pretty sparse, but not completely devoid of natural items, unless you want a cigarette butt or an old carrier bag. But the land beneath the concrete will have a very special, unique energy, and it would be very happy to connect with a lovely, caring soul. After all the abuse it has probably suffered from over the years. So, wherever you are, just take a moment to relax your mind and send out your spidey senses to connect with the land you are standing on. If you are in a field or forest, then the energy you connect with will be very different from that of the city centre, but it will be an experience wherever you are. Whenever I've been to a group ritual, I always connect with the land first and ask permission from the ancestors of that site to make sure they are okay with a load of pagans invading their site. I think it is a matter of courtesy, but also to ask them to lend their energies to the ritual as well. It pays to have the ancestors on your side. I do the same if I am in a park, a field, walking by a hedgerow, doing the school run, or even in the forest, because I find it helps give me a sense of being, to connect with the land my feet are walking on. It can also give you a sense of what type of magical energies you can tap into and what energy it can lend to you. If you get into the habit of connecting with your own house and garden, it can also make you feel very comfortable and safe and help to keep your house and garden a happy and positive area to be in. Am I the only one that says hello to my house when I come home? Go on, get connected. I firmly believe that to be really connected to the earth and all the elements, you need to be able to reach out and find the sparks and lines of energy that surround us, whether it is to discover what magical property a plant or tree can lend to us, or to discovering ancient ancestors and spirits of a part of the landscape. To make that connection, you will need to open your mind's eye. that psychic, for want of a better word, pathway. You don't need to be a skilled or trained psychic, but you do have to know how to open up and allow yourself to connect with outside energies. But you also need to know how to protect yourself too. Here are the basics to give you some guidelines to follow, but it may take practice before you can master it all properly. Please be careful. There is energy in every living thing, whether it is a flower, a crystal, a person, or a building. You can draw upon energy from the elements such as the earth or the air around you and direct it for healing or spell work. And you can also channel that energy through your body. You can form and direct the energy, and one of the most well used forms is the cone of power. This usually happens within a circle. The energy is raised by chanting and or dancing in a circle. The energy builds and forms into an upwardly pointing cone, which shapes itself in the center of the circle and rises skywards. Once the cone is ready and it is felt that no more energy can be added, it is released and sent to its destination. On a smaller scale, we raise and direct energy when we work a spell, for instance, a candle spell. We would take the energy from the earth or the heavens, channel it through our body and out through our hands and into the candle. This would charge the candle with energy. We add our intent and any other ingredients such as herbs and oils. Once the candle is burning, it releases the energy we filled with it. That energy can then go on its merry way to fulfill the intent that it was meant for, or in some cases to a completely different intent because the universe likes to think it knows best. You will need to open up your mind and all of your senses to see if you can direct and detect the energy fields that are all around you. Try it in a safe and familiar environment first, such as your home, especially if you have a willing human volunteer or even a pet. See if you can walk up to them from across the room with your eyes closed and feel their energy field with your outstretched hands. When you hit a slight resistance, you will have found the edge of their energy field. Then try the same exercise with trees and plants. Each one should have a completely different energy field. Once you have the hang of it, try it outside, obviously not walking down the road with your eyes closed. Take yourself into your garden or into a field or forest. Start by standing quietly, just opening up your senses. What can you see? What can you hear? What can you smell? And what can you sense? Allow your spidey senses to reach out and connect with the energy fields of the land, the trees, and the plants. Once you start opening yourself up to strange and unusual energy fields, you will need to have some protection in place, particularly if you find yourself in the middle of a busy city centre. Having all your senses set to receptive while surrounded by busy shoppers can be a very unpleasant experience. You may also find, if you are particularly sensitive, that the spirit world will find you interesting too. And there are some places, especially ancient ones, that will have quite nasty histories or events that have echoes of energy, and you don't want to be picking those up. But remember, you are always in control. If you find yourself being overwhelmed by spirit, then just literally tell them to shove off and not to come back. If you are being bombarded with energy from too many things or people all at once, remember you are in control. Bring up your psychic shield to keep them out. And what is your shield? Once you start to work with energy, you also become aware and open yourself up to certain energies. You may start to become more sensitive to the emotions of those around you, and you might attract the energies of those that you'd really rather keep away. However, I want to state now that a true psychic attack is extremely rare, so no need to worry. This lesson is designed to show you how to protect yourself from those unwanted energies. Bringing in your psychic shield involves visualization. Remember that energy field you felt? Well, obviously, you have an energy field too, and you can strengthen that field for protection. For any Star Trek geeks out there, I visualize the shields up and alert command in my mind, and a protective bubble shield slides quickly into place around me. You need the shield to protect you against negative energy, but you do still want the positive stuff to come through on a general basis. The aim of the shield is to filter out energies that may affect you in a negative way. We all have those people in our lives who, when we are around for any length of time, we just feel physically drained. By placing the shield around ourselves, we'll be better equipped to deal with them without being able to take our energy. The most common form of shield is the bubble shield. 1. Take a few moments to ground and center yourself. 2. Visualize a giant bubble starting to form around you. The bubble is a flexible sphere forming 6 inches outside your aura. 3. The bubble is completely surrounding you, above your head, down your back, under your feet, and in front of you. 4. Your bubble may be clear, or you may want to add some colour to it. The choice is yours. 5. Tell your bubble that it is there to keep anything harmful out, but positive things are able to flow through. 6. When you are ready and you no longer need your bubble shield, see it gently start to disperse. Some people visualize themselves surrounded by a giant bubble which deflects negative energy away from them. Another option is to visualize yourself pulling on a cloak of protection, wrapping it around you, and pulling up the hood. If you've really got yourself into a tight space, you can, as a short-term measure, create a protective shield with a mirrored outside or a solid, impenetrable wall. I would not recommend either of those for the long term though, because apart from being exhausting to maintain, they don't let any of the good stuff through, and we all need positive energy. Once you have the hang of shielding, you can also fill the inside of your bubble with different colours of energy. So you might like to use yellow for happiness or pink for love. You can also visualize your bubble being filled with the elements such as water to cleanse and purify. It is your shield, so tailor it to suit you. Your shield will act as a barrier and as such will interfere with the flow of energies. It is not designed to be a permanent fixture, but the use of a shield is helpful if you're going to be in a situation where you aren't sure of the people you'll be in contact with. Maybe at a party where you don't know many people, or it can be even used in a crowded supermarket. Cleansing with smoke. The burning of herbs for psychic and spiritual cleansing is found in many religions, but the term smudging, which is often used, seems to now refer to the Native American practice that uses herbs that are burnt and waved through the aura to cleanse the energy field of a person, an object, or the room. However, on doing some research, I found the word smudge comes from the Old English word smogan. It is cited in several dictionaries, such as the Merriam-Webster, Collins Dictionary, the freedictionary.com, and dictionary.com, as coming from 1400 to 1450 late Middle English. It means to smear, to blur, obscure, to smother with smoke, to use dense smoke to protect an aura from insects. Another meaning is also taken by surprise. In English, the term smudge also means to smut, or it means dirt. It has been in use since the 15th century and first appeared after the Norman conquest, so it's certainly of Germanic origin. The theory behind this type of cleansing is that the smoke attaches itself to the negative energy, and as it clears, it takes the negative energy with it. It is a good idea to perform this ritual on yourself on a regular basis, as well as your home and your workspace. Make it part of your weekly housework. After you've dusted and vacuumed, smoke in your home and yourself with an incense of your choice. Many indigenous peoples of the Americas use sage, sweetgrass, or cedar to make a smudge bundle, but you can use whatever you have to hand. Ancient Vikings used mugwort. I use whatever I have in my garden, which is often garden sage, lavender, and rosemary. You can make your own bundle by cutting stems of the plants, tying them together with wool or twine, and leaving them to dry. And once dried, it is ready to use. Please don't import dried herbs from across the globe. Use a herb or plant that grows locally to you. A local herb will have more personal energy, but will also be far more eco-friendly without all the transportation damage. You light one end of the bundle and then blow out the flame so it is just smouldering. It is wise to hold the bundle over a bowl to catch any bits that may fall off. It saves burning holes in the carpet. You can guide the smoke over yourself by using a feather or your hands, whichever you prefer. Bring the smoke up over your head, down your shoulders and your arms, around your torso and your back, down your left and your feet, not forgetting to do the same to ensure that you walk on the right path. Visualize the smoke lifting away all your negative energies, thoughts, and emotions that have attached themselves to you. When you are smoking in your house, make sure the smoke gets into all the corners, around the windows and doors, and if you want to be really thorough, you can waft it in all the cupboards and drawers too. When you have finished, make sure your herb bundle is extinguished using a bowl of sand or earth. Make sure the herb stick is completely out before leaving it. Of course, if you're like me, then you will find the herb bundle a bit awkward to use sometimes, and that's when you can use loose herbs on a charcoal block, or for even more convenience, a shop bought incense stick do the job just as well. It is your intention and the smoke that is important. If you can't stand the smoke, then try with an oil burner or scented candles. You can also pop loose incense onto an oil burner, allowing the candle to just warm the mix without the smoke. If you can't work with smoke or scent, then perform the same ritual but use salt or salt water. Crystals. Several crystals have strong grounding and protective qualities. Black tourmaline, black obsidian, smoky quartz, hematite, apatite, and tiger's eye help to ground and clear negative energies. You can carry these crystals with you and place them around your home or workspace. Salt can be used to remove unwanted energies. Add a cupful of rock salt, sea salt, or Epsom salts to your bath water a couple of times a week. You may want to add some bath oils at the same time, as salt can be a little bit drying on the skin. You can use salt for protecting your home as well. Sprinkle salt around the boundary of your house and garden, not forgetting to put some along the windowsills and doorways to prevent negativity from entering. I use a mixture of salt and marigold petals, which I sprinkle around my boundaries every month or so, usually on a full moon. Homework. There are practical exercises in this homework. Please write a detailed report on your experiences for each of the following exercises. 1. Ball of energy exercise. Find a time and space where you will not be disturbed for the 5 to 10 minutes it will take to do this exercise. Take a couple of breaths to clear your mind and relax yourself. As in the lesson exercise, rub your hands together to activate the palm chakras. Then hold your hands 6 to 8 inches apart from each other and slowly bring them together until you feel the energy between them. Then visualize that you are holding a ball of energy. Start small and don't worry if you don't see the energy ball. For now, just feel that it is there between your palms. As you breathe in, visualize energy filling you from all around you, from the earth and from the air. And as you exhale, visualize the energy flowing out through your palms and into the ball of energy to make it larger. Once you have a ball of energy, try throwing it from one hand to the other. Make it smaller, make it larger, stretch it, squish it, have fun with it. Work with energy in this way to practice control and intent. And when you are finished, bring your hands together and then clap a couple of times. Drawing energy with the breath from around you rather than from inside of you will not deplete your own energy levels. This energy can then be charged with your intent and used to send energy into candles or herbs for spells or into healing and passed on to other people, animals, or plants that need it. Remember, never send energy to another person without their permission. 2. Feeling energy outside yourself. For this exercise, you will need one of each of the following: a stone or a pebble, a plant, a piece of fruit, and a fallen leaf or a flower petal. For this exercise, allow yourself 10 to 15 minutes when you will not be disturbed. Arrange your gathered items on a table or other flat surface. Take a couple of breaths to clear your mind and relax yourself. Rub your palms together, as in the previous exercise, but this time we are feeling the energy from the items that we have gathered. So move your palms slowly towards each item in turn. What do you feel? Are they all the same or are they different? And why do you think that is? Clap your hands together to release the energy and write about your experiences with each of the items. 3. Plant energy. Sit in front of a potted plant or in the garden in front of a plant or a tree. If you don't have any plants, maybe visit a friend's house or garden. You can also use a local park or a garden centre. Rub your hands briskly together. Hold your hands either side of the plant, your palms facing inwards, about a foot away from the plant itself. Close your eyes and slowly bring your hands together. Can you feel the aura energy of the plant? Try to work with at least 2 different plants or trees. What differences did you notice? Crystal energy. Sit comfortably with a crystal in front of you. If you don't have a crystal, try using a pebble or a shell. Rub your hands briskly together. Hold your hands either side of the stone, the palms facing inwards, about a foot away from the stone itself. Close your eyes and slowly bring your hands together. Can you feel the aura energy of the stone? Try to work with at least 2 different types of crystals. And what differences did you notice? Shielding. Experiment with creating a bubble shield, a cloak shield, and a mirror shield. Which one works best for you? Are there any changes you would make to suit you? Smudging. Try smudging yourself and your home and report what you did, what herbs you used, and how you felt afterwards. What herbs other than sage would work for cleansing? If you can't smoke or smudge with smoke, what other way would you cleanse your home? And write a chant to say along with your cleansing. Earth energy. This exercise should take at least 15 to 30 minutes and preferably done early in the morning when there are fewer people around and there is less noise from traffic, etc. Go out into your garden or local park, woods, forest or beach and make sure the area you visit is safe and take a friend if necessary. Then simply walk around the space. Listen to the birds' song. Observe the plants, the flowers and the trees. Feel the breeze on your face and the sun's warmth on your skin. Or if it's colder, see your breath in the air as you exhale. Feel the energy around you, absorbing into you, cleansing your aura. How does it feel to you? Note, we all work in different ways, and you may find you don't feel the energy, but rather you sense it in another way. It could be you hear words or you get a sense of emotion or feeling in your mind rather than physically feeling an energy field. Go with what works for you. These exercises can also take time, effort, and practice to work with. You may not get it on the first try. Remember to relax and work with them over a period of time. Don't beat yourself up if you don't get it at first. Homework for each lesson should be emailed to your mentor, Ness or Heather, at support@kitchenwitchhearth.net. and please complete all questions before emailing your homework. And there is a link in the lesson PDF to a YouTube energy playlist by Rachel.